So we mentioned it at the beginning, but there was a whole lot happening between the
Whole
Bloodline
lot.
and
We
Sami
saved it
Zayn
for
on
the end.
SmackDown. That's why I wanted to just put it all together at the end because, again, it's the dominating storyline on SmackDown every single week. So from beginning to end, there's a lot going on. So at the beginning of the show, we see the Bloodline show up, but they showed up without Jay, noticeably absent. And that becomes the main feature of the story for the show. Roman asks Jimmy if he has spoken to him. Jimmy says that he hasn't. And Roman gets big old mad and says, "Don't you find it disrespectful? You know, you have a title match next week, blah blah blah." And Jimmy's just like Jimmy doesn't really care, which I thought was kind of interesting because of his reaction to Jay walking away at the Rumble. He was very mad about it. And so it was kind of an interesting shift there where he was just seemingly unbothered.
It's like grieving. It's like staged of grieving. Oh, we have a comment. Let's go. Oh,
Um but yeah, so we see that Roman tells Solo and Jimmy to go find him, which they don't because apparently Jay turned off his phone. And that's what makes Roman get mad and like tells them like, "Oh, go fire up the jet and like get me a steak dinner." Um so they go off and do that.
incredible. It's so
And then
incredible.
I love those like subtle like bragging moments, you know, where it's like, "Yeah, I'm the champion and like I have a lot of money and I have a private jet and whatever." Like it's used it very well, I think, because other times, you know, when a champion or someone becomes a champion, that's all they do is like they flaunt their money or,
Yes.
you know,
Oh
fake
yeah.
money, whatever. Um anyway, so that continued at the end of the show when Roman came out with only Paul Heyman. He said that Cody deserved his attention, but you know, that's not the case right now. So he's talking about how he saw everything that he needed to see when he looked at Sami. And the main thing was that he saw greed and that he gave Sami a chance, but he just used the bloodline and the island of relevancy. I love that. Like,
I
it's kind of
love.
corny, but it like makes sense, you
Oh, it
know?
hits. It hits.
And then Sami attacked Roman from behind and he reveals his new shirt, which I think is awesome. The
It is
Sami
such a
Uso
cool
shirt
shirt.
now says Sami Zayn, and the Zayn part looks like a piece of duct tape. They did that very well because it
Very
really
well.
does look like a piece of duct tape.
Yeah.
Um, they kind of go back and forth. Roman ends up beating up Sami. He gets a chair, but Sami hits him with a spear, and then uh Sami was going to hit him with the chair, but he grabs the mic and he says, "I've never wanted anything from you, but now I do, and I'm coming after you in that undisputed Universal WWE Championship." And then Solo and Jimmy come out and they attack Sami. They beat him. They use the chair. There's a bunch of "We Want Jay" chants, which I was like, "Oh my god, this is the most over that Jay Uso has ever been."
Yeah. Are we really chanting for Jey Uso right
I
now?
know, like we love it though. Very
Like
much a callback to the Thunderdome era.
very much
And
so.
yeah, and then Roman yells at Sami for breaking up the bloodline, and he accepts his challenge for Elimination Chamber in Montreal and says he can't wait to beat him down in front of his family and friends. So I don't know what to say other than whoever is working on this story and coming up with how it should proceed deserve every round of applause by every single person that pays attention to wrestling because you know and I said this before when we talked about the end of Rumble. It's not even just about that the people who are writing it. It's also about the bloodline and Sami acting it so well, doing it so believably. And this could very easily become something that is like corny and just overdone, but it's not. And people are eating it up every single week. It's insane.
It is insane. I just don't like it. To me, the bloodline is the most over story in all of wrestling right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I mean, you have fans chanting for fucking Jey Uso right now. And yes, it may be because they really want Jey Uso, but they want Jey Uso to come out to build this story. That is
Mm.
it. And that's what's so just so fascinating to it because now it adds that other layer to it. There's so many layers of the story, and the fact that you're gonna have Jay now walk out because of that element where he was skeptical of Sami, and then accepts him, and then he turns, and now he's conflicted. Whereas for Roman, Jimmy, and Solo, they don't care. Like, of course they're gonna ride. It's family. But now you
Yeah.
have Jay like in an internal conflict. Like, it's all done so well for a major payoff, and that's what I
Hmm.
love. And the fact that Sami Zayn is getting a main event match at a
Yeah.
pay-per-view because of this. I don't care that he's gonna lose.